Hello, welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is supposed to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time we're going to need to reinvent ourselves and change our identity. Sometimes we just need to find who we are truly meant to be and be that identity and cut through the noise of what others wish to be. This is so important. This is a quote I wrote myself on Facebook earlier, and most people teach that you need to reinvent yourself to have a new life and a different life and a better life. You need to change yourself. And for a long period of time, I've gone along with that quite a bit. But as I reflect on 2021, I realise now that personally, for me, it's not about reinventing myself or changing my identity. It's about being truly who I am and who I've always been born to be, and cutting through the noise of what others wished I should be. Right? So this is so important because in life, people are going to bombard you and tell you what to do and what's best for you. And it's not coming from a place necessarily of nastiness or anything like that. They genuinely care and worried, and they've got different experiences to you. But sometimes, that just doesn't fit what your life is and is not right for you. And so, I finally am truly me right now in this moment, So if I look back on 2021, like someone wrote a post, a few people have written posts saying, what's your greatest achievement this year? What are you proud of? Like what stands out as, things that you've done this year, outstanding things. And for me, I've had a lot of successes actually, right? Because I left a job that made me very, very poorly. It took me a year to leave that job. I didn't leave it till October 2021, which is this year when I'm recording this now. And I joined that company on October 2020. I was off sick for most of it. And, I developed PTSD, CPTSD, which is complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And, and that was a very trying time for me. But the success in 2021 was I left that job. After a year, I managed to find a way out of it. And, and I've been able to get my disabilities recognised now by the benefit system over here. So when you live on your own, you have to support yourself. Like I can't go back and live with my parents, right? So I have to live on my own. Don't have brothers or sisters, no other relatives I can go and stay with. So, I have to support myself. And it's very difficult to leave that job because obviously I need to keep a roof over my head. But because I'm actually a self-employed author, with some books out, I don't make an actual hi Stevie, lots of love pre-happy new year for you. And so because I'm an author and I write books, even though I'm not in a profit, because like every bit of my money I get in my books goes out on domain names and web hosting and internet, because I pay for more advanced internet, faster speed internet, for having my live streams and stuff like that than I used to. So all the money I get from my books just basically goes into me carrying on helping asexuals, and so, so basically I don't, I'm not using that money for, I'm not using it at the moment. I'm not using it for rent or anything like that or food. So I couldn't just, thank you. So I couldn't just leave my job just like that. And I have a disability, fibromyalgia, anxiety disorder, which is actually a disability. And then most recently PTSD stuff going on. And so, I just can't work anymore for an employer at the moment. And it might be like that for some time. And so, over in the UK, they've got something called the minimum income floor, which I haven't really talked about on this channel because obviously it's quite, it's quite personal. But basically, usually you can't get any benefits if you're self-employed, even if you're not in a profit or even if you only earn a little bit of money, the government over here treat you as if you're in full-time employment, even if you're not in a profit. So you can imagine how it affects lots of people in this country. And I couldn't be in that position because I wouldn't be able to live here. I'd technically be on the streets. So now you know what I've had to contend with. And so it's only because I finally got my disabilities recognised by the Job Centre, Universal Credit over here, that I'm now able to be on benefits currently. Because of my health needs, and I don't currently have to look for work, but I'm still busy doing self-employment work. As you know, I'm still busy being a writer, but obviously I'm not working for an employer. That's my current situation. But for me, getting out of that job after a year was just amazing. Since I left that job only in October, so only in December now, like, my life has just been getting better. So I'm really, really happy because I've had such a traumatic time. I'm not saying other people haven't. I'm really not. But it's been one of the hardest, toughest years of my life for a long time. And then obviously I had the two different guys I was interested in. I thought either of those might have been suitable for a relationship, and in the end, neither of them were. So that was a lot of trauma. So, but the success from this is I got diagnosed with bipolar, depression, generalized anxiety, and panic disorder. So many diagnoses. Oh, that's what I've got: generalized anxiety disorder, a high level of it. I've had it for years, though, mine. But I didn't even know it was a disability till last year, I think it was, or was it this year? Might have been even early this year. I didn't know it's actually disability, and I know fibromyalgia that I've got, but I went online and it's like, oh, it's a disability. So, but it does affect me really badly, the anxiety, particularly with all the trauma I've had. It was out of control. And you probably, obviously, you must know, Stevie, what it's like to have anxiety out of control. It's just debilitating, You get stomach pains, headaches, can't eat, but you need to eat, and then you get irritable bowel, and then it affects everything. It affects all your body, your mind, everything. And so, sometimes it gets so bad you just curl up in a ball, don't you? Well, that's what happens to me, and in too much pain. So, but obviously I don't really show that side of me very much on here. So, it can affect me really badly on really bad days, but over the last couple of weeks, things have been just dramatically improved. A couple of weeks before Christmas, basically. So you nailed all the symptoms. Thank you, Stevie. Yeah, so I was filling out, I've applied for PIP over here, which is personal independent payment. I applied for it, and I was assessed by an independent doctor. I was 2 points off getting that benefit, which I should really get, because it does affect, my disabilities do affect me quite a lot sometimes. And I had to write all that out and say how the worst case scenario is, because when the doctor assessed me, she was just assessing me on my fibro, mostly, nothing to do with anxiety. And I think it's really disgusting that people don't recognize mental health difficulties and disabilities like they do physical stuff that can be seen, or in case of fibromyalgia can't be seen, And so I think it's, I do think that's a bit appalling, because, mental health is really, really one of the factors that determines whether you can work for an employer or not. Like I was waking up most days crying, which most of you don't know about as well, because since I was diagnosed with, unofficially diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, and then I more recently with my therapist, I say more recently, like probably last month now, while I had my chest infection going on, I wasn't able to speak to her till the week before Christmas. So I didn't speak to her, I think, for about 5 weeks. So I'm still coughing a little bit of stuff as well, just a tiny bit. I've had 3 lots of antibiotics as well, but I'm much better. As you can tell, I can talk the majority of the time. Sometimes my voice goes a little, but with my therapist, she can see a distinct change in me to what I was before when I spoke to her, which is great. But I was like talking to her about, stuff, that my symptoms and that, and I was, I think it's really bad that the doctors don't take into consideration mental health, because, if you are having such bad symptoms like we just described, Stevie, you can't physically do something, you know, you're just too debilitated. So many people who are disabled in so many countries do not get a disability payments. It's cruel and disgusting. Yeah. I mean, I've had my fibro since 2012, and that's really affects me quite a lot sometimes, particularly more with the trauma recently, you know, in the last year, because the mental pain just automatically just massively affects pain in my body. I mean, really badly, just really triples it. And fibro people tend to have about 10 times more pain in their body than the average person would in normal situations anyway, according to even a doctor that I spoke to, you know. So I do, you know, like 2012 I had fibro, and I've worked up to 2017 with it, and then I was made redundant in 2017. Then I worked back in a company last October, and unfortunately there was difficulties there. I can't go into it all publicly at the moment. I don't know if I'll be able to go into it publicly, but I had a lot of difficulties, shall we say. And so anyway, I had to leave, but it took me a year to leave because I needed to get benefits to leave, because in the UK with the minimum income law, if that applies just for being self-employed, even though all my money for my books goes back into paying for domains and stuff, you don't get any money. You're classed as having a full-time wage coming in, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's like, I don't know how the government gets away with it. To me, it's like the government's frauding people. They're falsifying figures that don't even exist. But if we did that as people who actually have a business or self-employment, you know, we'd be done for it. But no, some people still believe fibromyalgia isn't real. It sucks. Yeah. I mean, the woman did take my fibromyalgia seriously. I've been assessed for a disability part of UC, which I've finally got now. I got that 3 months it took me to get that. So I only got that partly in October and full lot last month, which meant I had enough money for food, because I wasn't going to have enough money for food. And I had to leave my job. I luckily, thank the Lord, this is what I'm really grateful for this year as well, is I literally, the day I officially left my day job, the day after that, so I officially left on the 10th of October, it was the 11th, I got a message from the Universal Credit to say, you've been awarded, they've assessed you and they've awarded you, but basically the limited capacity for work, or limited capability they call it now, for work. Don't have to look for work or search for work at the moment, which I'm really pleased about. It's finally been recognised. And so it was only my full pay for that I got last month. Otherwise, I wasn't going to have enough money for food. But I had to leave my day job because it made me so poorly. I mean, I was suicidal last year, and I haven't been like that for 8 years, because I used to have depression, but I haven't been like that for 8 years. And then last 22nd of December last year was one of the worst days in my life for that, you know. And so, but I'm the opposite now. Over the last few weeks, I've really changed back to being happier, and I'm going to say what I've done now. But yeah, it is really difficult, you know. And so the PIP I got declined from, and I was off by 2 points for one of the benefits. But both of doctors, well, particularly the PIP one, she assessed me on fibromyalgia. The other one, which I was assessed for before, for the UC, I actually had a panic attack on the phone with her, which is not great, but at least she could see how much trouble I was in, because my mental health has really deteriorated to the point of like really bad this year, which I don't like to talk about too much. But obviously people on this channel do have mental health difficulties. It's important, you know, that I'm just like you in that respect. You know, I have to, you know, try and manage it. But I'm in a much better place now, ending the year in a really good place, which is great. I'm so happy, you know. But it's good to know that you can come through difficult times, you know, because it's really hard, as you know, Stevie. It's really difficult to do those, you know, come through those difficult times. But when I look back at this year, I could look back at the failures or problems, if you like, about, you know, the mental health difficulties and the things that didn't work, relationships that didn't work out, the job that didn't work out, and all that lot. But instead of that, I'm focusing on the positives. That thank God I left that job after a year. It was really difficult to get out of it, but that's amazing that I've left, because I'm not, you know, I'm not in that state that I was back then, which is great, because it was so unhealthy for me. I finally got my disabilities recognised by the Universal Credit, so it meant that I could safely leave that job because it was my full-time job. It was a management job as well, so I was giving up quite a lot of money. But I've been on sick pay for a while, just statutory sick pay. So anyway, I left that, and and then the 2 relationships didn't work out. That was really hard. But after 7.5 years, I've now stopped dating and stopped looking for a relationship, which I'm really happy about, because now I've actually focusing on growing my book publishing business. So over the last couple of weeks, particularly before Christmas, like, I decided that I'm not going to go off on tangents and look at loads of other entrepreneur business models. I'm literally going to now focus just on book publishing and helping asexuals more and writing more books for asexuals. And that's my main focus now. And I've got crystal clear clarity on exactly what I want to do with my life. And I'm already taking steps every single day now towards that that focus, right? So I've stopped, over the years I've been looking at loads of different things like affiliate marketing and drop shipping and FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon business, and all sorts of online stuff since 2012. But my heart's always been in writing books that change lives, in in changing people's lives through the written word, and in really helping people with all the knowledge I've learned over the years. And to not get the word out is just an injustice, and all the time I've had people give me advice saying, oh, don't do this, don't do that, blah 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 blah, and they think they know what's best for me. And just by listening to so many people, you just get caught up in all that noise. And that's why I say sometimes we don't need to reinvent ourselves or change ourselves. We just need to find who we truly are and cut through all that noise and say enough is enough. I'm not doing that. I'm not going that way because it's not what I truly want and truly desire. I get people telling me I could be doing this, that, and the other and earning much more money, which I probably could, but I'm actually not motivated by money. I'm motivated by a sense of responsibility and achievement first and foremost, which is why I love helping asexuals, and educating people on this channel. And so, sometimes we don't have to reinvent ourselves and change ourselves. We just have to find who we truly are, and we have to listen to our internal intuition, and we have to actually follow through on it and be that person that we were born to be, right? So now my life has completely changed again for the better, forever, I hope, because now I'm just focusing on book publishing business. I've been literally learning from more experts in the book publishing field. So before I was thinking of myself as an author and writer, but I wasn't thinking of myself as a book publishing business. But I've actually got my own publishing imprint, Quirky Books, right, which is what I published the Asexual Perspectives book with that name, and the Fibromyalgia Self-Help Handbook. These are on Amazon, right? And so, Quirky Books is my actually publishing company, publishing imprint. And so, these have got their own ISBNs. You can buy them in shops worldwide, order them if they haven't got them in stock, And so, now I'm focusing on having a book publishing business, and I'm going to be doing loads of promotion of the Asexual Guide to Sex book. When I finished it, I'm focusing on finishing that as well. I just feel so much happier and at peace with my soul. I don't wake up crying anymore. Usually I wake up and I'm just so happy and so joyous and so motivated to actually get on and watch more, like, hours and hours of video training to learn more skills to do with book publishing. I think about my writing my book. I did some more yesterday or the day before yesterday, Wednesday, because we've now gone to Friday. And so, and the day before I did a bit as well. And, it's just all focused on publishing books now. And I just love writing. I love the art of writing. It makes me elated and happy. So to be actually doing something I enjoy and love and focusing on that now is so much better. Before, it got to the stage where I was actually resenting and repelling against entrepreneurs. I love entrepreneur stuff still, but because it's not what I wanted to do at this point in my life, and the stuff doesn't turn me on, if you like, it doesn't make me feel excited in the same way it would do other people, because I'm not motivated by money and a lot of it's money driven. It's just not what I want to do. And the more people were saying, oh, do this, and aren't you happy? And where there's a will, there's a way. I was thinking, but I have no will to do that, because it's not what's going to make me happy. And so sometimes we have to be the best coach to ourselves, you know? And so I gave myself a piece of advice for a few years now, and I've never taken it up before, which is, if you just focused on writing books for the next 1 to 2 years, just think how your life would change and how much happier you would be. And I've been sad for a long time because I haven't been doing that. And so now I've just decided, sod it, you know what? I don't know totally what's going to happen, but I trust myself, I believe in myself, and I'm just going to go for it. And I've got nothing to lose. At the moment, I've got absolutely nothing to lose. And so now's the best time to do what I need to do, because I do have even more books. I have the Asexual Guide to Sex I need to finish. Then I have more books that I need to do for asexuals, and it's essential I get them out. I want to get them out more than anything in the world. I do want to write books in other niches as well. I've got other books that I do need to do, but I want to do the asexual books because that's the biggest impact I can have in the world, you know? Like, for helping asexuals and, you know, like being a positive influence in sexuality is just something I really, really want to do. And I really do believe that I and we as a team here can, you know, get asexuality recognised as a sexual orientation throughout the globe officially, so no asexual has to live in fear of ridicule ever again. That's my mission. And I feel with the power of the written word, I'm more able to do that, especially if I do a lot more promotion, which I haven't done as much promotion as I could have done before with my previous books. This Asexual Guide to Sex, I really want to go all out to do, right? And so for me, this year I'm ending on a high because I'm focused on writing every day now, book publishing. Every day for me is just happy and peaceful. I feel very at peace with myself. I've got not much, you know, I haven't got any of this trauma going on anymore, no dating stuff, no relationship stuff. It's just me and a computer and video training courses and soaking up the knowledge, writing in my notepad. I mean, look, I just keep writing notes and notes and notes down, you know? And so we don't need to reinvent ourselves all the time or change ourselves. We need to find who we truly are. I have always been truly a writer, an author, and a book publisher. I've always visioned myself as having these multiple books out. And so that when I'm no longer here on planet Earth anymore, my books will live on and still change lives. That's my dream. That's always been my dream. And that's been my vision. And I can't make that vision happen if I am allowing people to take me away from that vision because I'm not being strong enough, right? But now I'm strong. I have crystal clear clarity on what I want to do, and I'm doing it. I have direction in my life. I have purpose and meaning. I have happiness. I want to get up now and, you know, watch training videos and soak up more knowledge. I want to find out more and more stuff because I'm just sticking to book publishing now. And so obviously I learn about asexuality from, you know, going in forums. I learn what people are talking about and stuff. You know, I always want to develop and grow myself more and more. And so, you know, it's just an incredible feeling to go from being that negative to this positive now. And my therapy's coming to an end soon. I got one more session left with her. And when she was talking to me last time, she's like, oh, I've never heard you so enthusiastic and so happy about anything before. And so she's really pleased with all the things I'm doing, with all the tools I've got done, and tools I've always used in my past that I'm using now to help myself. And I've written my self-care plan out, which is to have more fun in my life, because to counteract trauma, you need to do, well, the opposite of trauma, which means have fun and do things that make you happy. So you do the opposite of negative and do positive. So, you know, my care plan now is to socialize more, have fun more, do a lot of things that I adore more, do what makes me feel really happy, being my young teenager quirky self, focus on just book publishing, not going off on tangents, just keep that clarity going, keep moving forward, keep being in your peace zone, because I'm just so much more at peace. I'm so much more comfortable in my own skin now. I'm so much more comfortable in my home. Everything just feels like right. It feels like I know I'm on the right track. I'm here this is me. I feel like I'm in my own body now. When you have PTSD, there's something called disassociation. It's when you're like disassociated from your own identity. And I have had some of that going on. And it's because I wasn't being my true, authentic self, as in fully, as in I wasn't being what I needed to be, as in a book publisher and thinking like that. I'm always my authentic self, as in how you see me as raw and real, but there's a part of me that wasn't able to be in myself. So now feel like I'm in my own body, in my own skin, in my own true identity. And that is because I'm being who I was truly born to be. And I'm cutting through the noise of what everyone else wants me to be, what everyone else has been telling me for years and months and different things is good for me. Because if you're in the entrepreneur world, literally everything an entrepreneur does will be like, this is the best thing you need to do. This is like affiliate marketing, you need to do this. Right, MLM, I have never even gone down that route, but you need to do that. Drop shipping, you need to do that. FBA is the best business, you need to do that. Shopify store is the best thing, you need to do that. And the list will go on and on and on, because every person that's trying to sell you their product wants you to believe that their thing is the best and the greatest thing at making money and having a successful future, because that's what they're doing. They're trying to set your brain up to buy the thing that they want you to buy. And so they're making you doubt other things and making you question your reality and making you focus on what they want you to focus on. And when you break free of that, I literally feel like I've broken free of a hypnotic state that I've been in for years, of where other people want me to do things. And now I'm just like, no, I'm strong, I'm powerful female, I can do what I want when I want, I can be this person, be this book publisher, be this world famous book publisher and asexual entrepreneur, if you like, and just really live in my personal power. And I've had a complete shift in my identity, in the sense of I'm now happy, I'm now in my own body, I'm now in my own skin, I am in me. Before I felt disassociated, now I feel I'm actually in me, I'm actually me in my wholeness and entirety. Right? And I hope it will continue. It's very difficult when the world is pulling you in all different directions to not remain focused. It's very difficult. Well, I should say it's very difficult to remain focused. But you have to remain focused, because a lot of people want you to change your actual identity and who you are, whereas really you need to lean into who you are and be who you truly are. Right? So you'll hear a lot of people say about changing your identity, because again, if you change your identity, then they can kind of brainwash you into being the identity that they want you to be to buy their product or service. But if you actually listen to your intuition, you have to be able to be very intuitive and listen to your inner intuition and actually trust yourself. It's the hardest thing in the world to trust yourself over other people. And it shouldn't be. But we're conditioned like this as kids, like trust your teachers, what they say is true, they know more than you. Trust your parents, they know more than you. Trust your family, like your relatives that are older than you. Everyone knows more than you. Everyone's more knowledgeable. They've got all this wisdom, so they're always right, but they're not, because they're not living your life, they're not you, and they don't know the things you know. And they're not necessarily in the even in the interest that you're in. Do you know what I mean? So if you've got a family member that is interested in photography, but they have no experience or knowledge of how to look after horses, for example, and you want to be a groom and work at a stables for horses, and they go around telling you how to be the best groom in a stables, because when they were young, their grandparents used to have these horses or something, so they know what's best for you. But yet they're interested in photography and something else, and they don't actually do that, and they're talking back in the day. Of course they shouldn't be like giving you advice nowadays when they're not even in that. Or maybe they've never had anything to do with horses whatsoever, but they're telling you just from their experience of life what their view is, right? And so it just becomes like people eat away at your soul. And like I said, for a couple of years, I've now been coaching. I have this coaching voice inside me. It's best to coach yourself. And I've always said to myself, just, like I said earlier in this video, just think, Sandra, if you just stopped everything else and just focused on books for like a couple of years, what would you feel like? And I just keep thinking bliss. I feel like bliss. I'd be so happy. But up till now, I've denied myself the right to do that. Partly maybe feeling a bit guilty that I'm going to be having happiness and pleasure when we're taught, go to a 9-to-5 job, and you shouldn't be sat at home having happiness and pleasure. You should be grinding it in a 9-to-5 job. So maybe I've got a bit of guilt over that. Even though I've worked damn hard over the years and have slogged and done 60-hour weeks in management and all sorts of stuff. Worked 7 days in a row jobs and all sorts of stuff. It's not like I've never worked in my life. I have, and worked damn hard, had a lot of grief and hassle for it as well. So it's not like I haven't done that in my life, and obviously, and the other thing is, it's like a lot of people say, oh, you can't make money with writing books. Like, why are you doing that? I've also been criticized about helping asexuals because it's like, you can't make money out of that. And it's like, I want to change lives. I have to write for asexuals regardless of money, because I just have to help them. I have to help asexuals. It's what I'm born to do. Born to write and born to help asexuals. It's just what I'm born to do. So regardless of money, but they are right. I do need money, I do need money come in, but, there's lots of books I can write in the book publishing industry, not just for asexuals, but asexuals is my main focus. But I've worked out if I do a lot more promotion, then obviously I'll reach more of a bigger asexual market anyway. With the Asexual Guide to Sex, there's probably going to be quite a few people who are not asexual that want to buy the book as well, such as virgins, friends of asexuals, families of asexuals, acquaintances, just people curious to know more. And so it's kind of going to be for asexuals and other people as well, and it's basically going to be the missing part of sexuality as we know it, so the Asexual Guide to Sex is just a phenomenal book that could change the whole history of where sexuality is concerned. I really believe that. So it's vital I get it out to as many places and people as possible, but it's going to be hard. Like, I'm going to have a hard job doing that, but it's going to be great. I'm going to love it because I'm just going to focus on that. And that's what I need to do. Because if you're doing a book launch and then you're focusing on like, oh, well, maybe I'll start affiliate marketing business. Let's learn about that. Maybe I'll learn some more about like selling on Amazon. Maybe I'll learn this. You know what I mean? It dilutes your attention and focus. So you can't actually be promoting it as much as you should. And, that's what's happened to me in the past. I've just gone off on tangents all the time. And unless you give your solid focus to something, your determination, your enthusiasm to succeed in the one thing, unless you devote that time and have this categorical tunnel vision and focus, it means that you go off on 55,000 tangents at once and you never actually succeed in one thing. So now that I'm focused literally on book publishing, writing books that change lives, totally dedicated to that, and helping asexuals even more, now I've got that sorted out. They're my two favorite passions: writing books that change lives and asexuality. You can imagine now how happy I am because I've said no because I was going to do a podcast next year, an entrepreneur podcast, and interview entrepreneurs. I'm connected to a lot of entrepreneurs who make a lot of money. I'm talking millions, even though I don't make that sort of money at all. As I've just told you, I've had to leave my day job. I'm now on benefits since October. Got my disabilities recognised, which I'm really grateful for, So I'm not in the financial position like they are. I'm just really well connected. I've built up a lot of good connections over the years. I always had an entrepreneur market on a blog. I've got over 26,000 accumulative followers on there. They're not just on the blogs, they're accumulated over Twitter and Facebook, but they all come into the blog. But it's over 26,000. I've had that blog for 11 years. So I have actually got an entrepreneur audience, right? So I've got an audience in that sense. And, I was going to start this podcast and it probably would be hugely successful, but my mind doesn't want to do that. My soul doesn't want to do that. And my intuition is telling me, do not do that. Not now. Maybe in 5 years' time will be the right time for me to do that. But at the moment, no. I need to just do book publishing. Book publishing is where it's at for me. Book publishing is my life because I know categorically before I'm not here anymore in life, that I have to have all these books out. I've always seen that. Like Sandra Bellamy here, all these books. That's what I have to do before I die, basically. I have to do that no matter what. And the longer I leave it to do that, the more stressed I get and disheartened and disorientated and feel like rubbish. So I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not focusing on other things. So I've had to tell the people on the podcast that I got lined up for it, that loads of people would probably give the right arm to have these people on their show, but I'm not doing it now at the moment. You know, basically I've just focused on book publishing. That's it. But by doing the book publishing, by focusing 1 to 2 years up to 5 years on solidly on book publishing, I will probably be in a much better position, stronger, to be doing that entrepreneur podcast, because I'm just going to have so many more connections by then. I'm going to have so much more. I can actually teach other people to write their own books then and be super successful doing it, because I haven't been treating it like a main business, because I haven't. I was doing my full-time job and I was very poorly over it, so I couldn't really work and stuff like that. So I haven't really focused on building a book publishing business. I've just been focusing on being an author and writer and publishing books. But now my mindset's changed to, actually, Sandra, you're running a business now, which has only just happened. I've only just been thinking of this in December. So now it's like a new start for me in what I want to further do with book publishing. Do you know what I mean? Which means I'm learning new skills now, learning what I've got to do. I'm going to have to do a lot more stuff. You know, it's going to be a lot more work involved, but it's work I'm going to enjoy. And I remember when I was 15 years old and I did work experience at a radio station, I always used to want to be a professional radio presenter, but I did radio presenting voluntarily for hospital radio after I was 15 years old and went to a commercial radio station. And I always knew at 15 years old I was born for a very special purpose and I would be famous in the media, but I didn't know what for. But I always have this intuition, and when I follow my intuition, life is good. When I don't, it sucks. But although I've always followed my intuition, there are certain things that I've been not listening to myself on. And that is basically doing the book publishing business. I haven't actually been focused on that. I've been too busy letting other people tell me what to do. Like, because they say, oh, you can't make money with book publishing. But there are people who are making thousands of pounds with book publishing. Not writing books for asexuals, but thousands of pounds, right? Which means that if they can do it, why can't I? Right? Maybe I'll have to diversify in other niches, which I'm happy to do anyway, because I know a lot about other stuff. But asexuality is always my priority because I love helping asexuals. And I don't think it's a coincidence. And I like writing and I like asexuality, and asexuals love buying asexual books. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think the two are meant to be together. But I'm going to be, but the whole, I actually know a lot about book publishing as it is, but I've learned so much in the last couple of weeks from watching people who are like experts in their field at doing book publishing on Amazon, things I never even knew about. And other things that have actually just confirmed everything that I had in my mind that I need to do. The way I need to promote that Asexual Guide to Sex, for example, the way I, when I finished it, the way I need, what type of shows I need to be getting on, how I need to be getting the publicity, right? I watched an awesome video several hours earlier and it just confirmed what I'm going to do, but gave me some more advice about how to do it. And it happened to be a really good video. I've been watching so many videos taken, like this is like the notes. I think I showed you this a few minutes ago. This is like, look, tons of notes, right? I got different coloured biros as well. And so, it's just, I just feel so much better. Now I'm focused on just a book publishing business. Bear in mind, I'm only thinking about it in the terms of a business since this December. So I'm not going to give myself a hard time and beat myself up about the things I did or didn't do right or haven't done before in previous years. I'm just going to be focusing on my success. I've successfully published books in the past because I have, and my books continue to sell even though they don't earn a ton of money. But but going forward, I'm now thinking it as a business. So for 2022, I'm then going to be focusing and determined to succeed as a book publishing business rather than just an author and writer, which is incredible in itself, right? So this for me is a totally different mindset in terms of where I need to go. I was a few weeks ago, I was having this vision that I was self-doubting, and now I don't self-doubt myself anymore. And the reason I don't doubt myself anymore is because I'm thinking about it as like a business, not just being an author or writer. So being an author and writer is, to me, is a bit more like being a participant in writing. Whereas if I think about my publishing as a company. I'm thinking more like a manager and a promoter as well as a writer and author. So for me, this is a different type of mindset. This means I can put my managerial head on more. I can put my business head on more. I can put my determination head on more. And going back to that time when I was 15 years old, had my work experience at a commercial radio station. I remember then how much enthusiasm I had for the media, how much determination to succeed I had back then, how I would not let anything stop me. I was not afraid of anything, right? And I need to be that girl when I was 15. I need to be that person again. That is truly who I am. But because of all the noise of everyone getting in my way and saying, oh, do this, do that, I let them. It's my fault because I let them. It's not anyone else's fault. I'm totally responsible for my own life. But I feel like I've stopped being brainwashed now. I've come out of this hypnotic state, I feel I've been in this hypnotic state for years where I've just been letting people control me. Maybe I didn't even realise. Or maybe I'm just really too scared and I'm not got enough confidence in myself, because self-doubt has been a huge problem for me. And I noticed that, and it's been more and more apparent, especially in November when I've been doing the therapy. What's come to light is that my biggest problem has been self-doubt. But now I'm just not doubting myself. I was, but I'm not anymore because I've been practicing not self-doubting, and I'm doing what I need to do every day. And every day I'm feeling good. I'm waking up thinking I'm just going straight to watching more videos and learning more stuff. I mean, some of these videos go for an hour. It's not nearly 40 minutes, 50 something minutes, right? It's not easy stuff. I'm just learning so much stuff. And it's just, oh my God, this is mind blowing. And some of it, like I said, is confirming what I'm doing, going to do, got in mind to do. And so it's just really reassuring as well that I've come across this training and I'm like, I'm on the right track. It's confirming what I feel, what I believe, and validating me in the way I need, really. And it's vital that I believe in myself, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. But now I'm thinking about the book publishing like a business. I'm just thinking now, whatever's happened with, before is great, because I have had success, still successful at publishing. I've been told by a 35-year-old publishing company that I've successfully published the Asexual Perspectives book. That's this one, because they wanted to actually publish it themselves. And in the end, we agreed not to, because they couldn't actually fulfill my sales expectations, because they know it's a smaller niche, and so sales aren't massive, but they couldn't do any better than me, basically, And so they said I successfully published it. When a 35-year-old book publishing company, traditional one, tells you you've successfully published a book, I think, I do take that advice very, very strongly. They've even told me Asexual Guide to Sex will sell as well. They weren't prepared to take it on, but that's fine, because I'm glad now. I just want to publish my own books. I want to grow my Quirky Books publishing company brand. I don't want to be under another company. And the reason why the company didn't want to take the Asexual Guide to Sex on, or in the end the Asexual Perspectives, they wanted to take stories out of it, is because they don't want any negativity whatsoever. And some of this Asexual Perspectives has got talk about sexual abuse in it or bad experiences. They didn't want anything like that. They just want all the good stuff. Marcelo, oh, lots of love. Thank you for the hearts. Bless you. Oh, and to my family, thank you. Me and Angel, my guinea pig, and my mum and dad. I've seen them on New Year's Day. So thank you for that. Lots of love. And so, so now I'm just focused on writing, book publishing, and helping asexuals. And, can you imagine now how I feel when I've just literally thought, no, I'm not doing the podcast, even though I've got entrepreneurs that were lined up for it. I've had to tell them I'm doing book publishing now. I'm focused on that. I'm just focusing on that. I've had to tell them. I've had to be strong and say that. And how much joy I have now, how much better I feel for not doing dating anymore, not doing relationships anymore, because I don't want to. I've been doing that, searching for that and trying that for 7.5 years. And clearly that's no good for me, right? And now all that time, I'm not feeling lonely or worried or anything. I'm feeling happy that I've got all this time on my hands now to focus on my book publishing business, to get all that energy, that determination to succeed at getting the word out there about myself and about my books, book publishing, asexuality. I can use all that feeling of when I was 15 years old to actually move forward in my life now with personal power that I've been missing because I've been too distracted by all these other things. So when I told you in the beginning of this video that sometimes it's not about changing your identity in life and becoming a new person or changing yourself and changing your identity, sometimes all we need to do is find our true self and be that identity, and then cut through all the noise of who other people wish us to be. Do you understand that? It took me a while to know this in life, right? It took me a while to realize this. I haven't been listening to myself. I have, but I've been ignoring myself for years. For years, like I said, for years, especially the last few years, I've been saying, just if you focus on book publishing, Sandra, wrote books, just think how much happier your life would be. And I've been like, well, yeah, but, you know, people tell me I can't make money doing that and I shouldn't be doing that. And why am I doing that? And it's just like wasting my, well, basically implying it's wasting time because I could be doing some other venture, making myself loads of money and all the rest of it. But the things that they're telling me they can make loads of money, and I'm not denying that you can make loads of money in it, but my heart's not in that. You know, I got to the point where I was dreading that and repelled against that and didn't even want to face another webinar to do with that. It was just really putting me off. I bought courses. Even back in November, I bought a copywriting course, which was how to set up a copywriting business. And I've only watched the first 2 modules, which was suitable for any writing business. But I don't need to watch the rest because I already know I don't want to do a copywriting business. I don't want to get clients. I'm not a person at the moment that wants to have a business based on clients. Apart from I do a bit of coaching with some asexuals, you know, I don't mind doing that. But obviously writing is my main focus and my publishing company. But I don't want to be doing services like internet marketing services for people and stuff that's got nothing to do with asexuality and, you know, and getting on the phones and doing sales calls. I don't like all that, and it's currently not something I want to do. However, in my book publishing business, when that takes off in years to come, I might want to then do like consulting for other, you know, for other entrepreneurs and mentoring and how to publish their books. And it's even something I might want to do in 2022 is helping other people publish their books and stuff, but maybe on a less bigger scale in terms of like, you know, well, I don't know what's going to happen, but I think magic's going to happen now because I'd rather be doing something that's to do with stuff I already know, like book publishing, which comes naturally to me a lot of the time. Now I do know a lot of stuff. It's just I'm learning more because I've always got more to learn. But I'd rather be doing that because then I'm spreading the word of asexuality anyway, because I'm saying I produce books for asexuals, you know. It's my books. A lot of people don't reveal their books. So if they're helping other people publish books, because they just nick the ideas and stuff. But my books are unique because they've got unique stories in. So no one can actually copy the books, right? So, you know, I just feel so much happier, you know, and now I'm focused on book publishing, you know, like if I'm going to do anything with services or anything like that, it would be to do with book publishing. For the next 1 to 2 years, I've really, majority of the time, I want to be focusing on writing the actual books and get them out, because I'm not really interested so much in helping other people get their books out. I know that might sound a bit selfish, but it's not selfish because the books I need to write are essential. They're essential to save more lives. Do you know some asexuals message me about this book and say it changed their life? They literally thought they were broken and they read this book and it completely changed their life and they know they're okay now. Some people have been suicidal, then read this book and know they're okay. So it can stop people feeling suicidal, right? Do you know what I mean? Do you know how amazing that feels to be able to help someone to live? That to me is priceless. That's why I like writing books so much. I don't think there's anything in the world, personally, there's nothing in the world that comes close to having a book, particularly physical books, out there in the world, as my own publishing company as well. Because I'm my own publishing company, by law in the UK, you have to give a number of copies, like 1 copy to 6 libraries in the UK, particularly the British Library. There has to be a physical copy by law. You have to send them. I have to send it, pay for it myself, send it to them. And so there'll always be in the British Library in London, there'll always be my books, printed books, that is, not the ebooks, printed books, these two, for example, right? They're in the British Library. They're also in Oxford Library, and I think it's one in Wales and one in Ireland and one somewhere else, right? And you know what I mean? When I'm not here anymore on planet Earth, they will always be there, right? YouTube in the past, unfortunately, delete this channel. This is something else I'm really grateful for, because this year I had this channel deleted plus 2 others. It took me 3 months to get the whole lot back, but this channel came back after all you kindly, campaigned with me on Twitter for 24 hours to get this channel back, but I couldn't get desktop access back for 3 months because my other 2 channels they deleted, which is, it was ridiculous because I didn't do anything wrong. I always abide by policies and procedures. I don't do things like wrong. But 3 months, is a long time. And I got the channel back. I'm really grateful because I really appreciate the community here. I'd be lost without it, to be honest with you. But the whole point is when I'm gone, I don't know if YouTube would delete the channel or if they keep it, right? And so, do you know what I mean? You'd like to think they keep it, but if they don't, where's everyone going to go for my content, right? Books, the British Library, there'll always be a copy there, even if it's really old, books like that, they just keep things. You have books that go out of print, but they're still around somewhere. Do you know what I mean? That is priceless. When I'm not here anymore, I want to still be changing lives. I want people in the future to know they're not broken. There's nothing wrong with being asexual. It's natural for some people to not want sex or not get the urge or the need for it. I want the generations to come to see that. I want, hopefully, even in my lifetime now, things will change so people know that. But I don't think there's anything has a bigger impact than the written word and books. I just don't. I've always felt that way. I feel very emotional about it, and so I always know that I have to get these books out. To me, and to be denying myself that for so long, because I've always tried to focus on other things because they're like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, and now I'm just like not listening to it anymore. I'm like, I'm not listening to all that noise. I'll do what the hell I want because I believe it's the right thing to do. I trust myself. I believe in myself 100%. And now I'm literally living with my intuition. I'm going with my intuition, not what other people tell me to do, not what might seem better for me. I'm just going with what I want to do. And now, because I was waking up crying nearly every single day, because of all the trauma I've been through, because of PTSD, and because I wasn't living the life I want to live, right? But now, every time I'm waking up, I'm just waking up straight into training and being happy. I'm so much more calmer and peaceful. I love my flat loads more. I love being in life loads more again. I love learning again. I love focusing on books. I love focusing on writing. I just feel so happy. I feel at peace with my soul. I feel I've got so much more clarity and direction. I was feeling directionless before. I was having lack of clarity every day. I was waking up thinking, I don't know what I'm doing. I would do journaling and planning, but it still didn't feel like I was getting anywhere and making much progress. But now, I'm learning, I'm doing video training multiple hours a day a lot of the time to do with book publishing. I'm actually writing more of my Asexual Guide to Sex book. I'm thinking about all the promotion, the launch I've got to do. And it's all focused around my book for asexuals, writing, publishing. Now I'm doing that. My life just feels great. And obviously I'm going out more with self-dating. I'm doing everything that makes me happy now. I'm just living for me, and I'm being my young, fun, teenager, quirky self that I was always born to be, not what society dictates I should be again. I just feel so much happier. And, I just feel so much better. I cannot tell you the difference in me, right? And I just need to stay this way. I cannot go back the other way because the other way is disastrous for me, right? But it requires complete trust in yourself and not doubting yourself. It's very difficult, but it's doable. I have to do it. And if I just keep thinking of the feelings I have now and how happy I am, then that should see me through. But, even today I got people trying to connect with me on Facebook, entrepreneur people. like build an affiliate marketing business. So I messaged a guy going, I don't want to build an affiliate marketing business. I have a book publishing business. I had someone yesterday, was it, or the day before as well, go in my inbox. And he was like trying to get me to do this coaching and consultancy business. And I wrote back to him going, I'm not interested. I got a book publishing business. And that's what you need to do in life. You need to literally say no to people with all these good opportunities that come along. You have to be crystal clear and solidly focused on what you want to do and stick to it. And you'll get so many people trying to tear you out of your what you want to do and put you in their slots. You don't want that. And so, you know, this year coming up 2022, I'm going to have to be very resilient and have to say no to a lot of things that have got nothing to do with the opportunities that I want for myself. If it's to do with promoting my book, learning more about book publishing, you know, going down that route, then that's great. Although I've got to be careful that I don't go so much down the route of learning about more and more about book publishing and don't actually write the books. That's the other danger. I had a bit of that come up the other day, and I felt like, oh, this is getting a bit much now. I'm doing so much personal and professional development work where book writings and launching, promotion, all that type of things, book publishing basically is concerned. They're starting to take me away from actually writing, which is what I don't want to do. I've just got to believe in myself that I can do it anyway, you know? And so, you know, I just feel happy. How I'm ending 2021 is just a complete turnaround. And it's only happened in the last couple of weeks. I mean, when I saw my friend Andy, I'm looking at the calendar now, when it was on the 16th of December, like I started in the beginning of December to change my life, change my mind. But up until the 16th, like the week before, I was like on track, and then I had self-doubt again. So I spoke to my friend Andy, who took me out for a Nando's before Christmas, like at part of my Christmas tree. And I said to him, I don't understand, like, what's happened between the previous week and this week is why I doubt myself again. And I worked it out. I went to the toilet, came back and worked it out. It's because I didn't think about the book publishing like a business. And that's a whole key to my mindset shift. Is before, like I said, I was just thinking about being a writer and author, which is more like, if you think about a chessboard, it's more like being a pawn on a chessboard. You serve a purpose, you do the thing you've got to do and go, if you know what I mean. But you can't actually win so much like that. Whereas if I think about it as a book publishing business, I feel more like the king or the queen that can, like, you know, be at the end of the board game, but the queen's usually the one that gets it, isn't it? But the queen and king, you know, at the end of the board, I feel more like that, you know? So for me, I'm just feeling really happy now, really at peace. I want this feeling to last forever, I really do. And I just got to keep pushing myself to believe in myself more and more. I think, you know, for most of us, that's the main crux of the matter. Most problem is self-doubt. And the reason I had self-doubt is because obviously other people were telling me what to do the whole time. And if people are older than you, or even if people are not older than you, they just think they're so much more experienced than you and stuff like that. And they know what's best for you. You know, like if you have got a lack of confidence in that particular way and they're trying to make logical sense to you, then you kind of like doubt yourself more. But if you just listen to your inner intuition and think, you know what, sod it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If things go wrong, I will wear it on my sleeve. I will say yes. But nothing can go wrong because I'm going to do what I want to do. At the end of the day, I'm going to have done it. And, you know, even if it doesn't make me shed loads of money, then I can do the entrepreneur thing that I was been trained for since 2012. Then I can do the entrepreneur podcast, you know, if I want to. But I'll probably still do that down the line anyway, because I want to write books for entrepreneurs. But I have to do the asexual books first. And I've got a lot that I want to do. So I don't know if the entrepreneur podcast will happen in 5 years' time or a couple of years' time, or I could decide never to do it, right? My priority is helping asexuals and changing the lives of asexuals and book publishing and publishing more and more books for asexuals. You know, I've been thinking about whole series and stuff I can do, you know, and when you love what you do, that's the greatest gift in the world, you know. So I'm just like feeling a lot more positive at the moment, a lot more good about things. Whatever happens, the Asexual Guide to Sex book will come out. That's my favorite book I'm doing at the moment. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to getting that out and still writing some stuff. I literally created a list. I'm not going to show you all of it, but of stuff I still need to finish adding to the book. It's scribbles, so you can't really see it. But I got some areas I still need to finish. And then I still need to do lots of formatting and stuff like that. So I've still got quite a bit to do. But, you know, I'm enjoying it. And the main thing for me is I'm happy again. You know, being miserable and waking up crying every day of your life is just not a good thing. And because of all the trauma I've been through, that was what was happening. You know, but to actually wake up and now be like, oh, I'm really motivated, and I don't even think about crying. I don't even think I had to remind myself today, oh my God, you were crying every day pretty much, like just a few weeks ago. Like, what's gone on, you know? And I'm like, wow, I don't even think about that anymore. I don't even need to plan my day at the moment. I'm like, I felt I must need to plan it, but actually I just get on and do it. It's kind of, I know what I need to do at the moment. So I don't need to plan it all out when I know what I'm doing, if you know what I mean. So sometimes you can waste time planning when you already know what you're doing. But most people plan their day. But I find that sometimes I've got more energy if I just get on and do the things I need to do. Because I was journaling for 3 hours a day, but that's because my mind was in a really bad state. But now I feel like I don't need to journal that much at the moment. I'm not saying it's still good practice to do journaling. Like if you've got, especially if you've got negative stuff going on. But with me at the moment, I've got a lot of positive stuff. It's still good to write down successes and that. But I'm just so busy, like getting on with what I need to do, that I just like that momentum. I like, you know, I fall asleep a lot of the time watching training videos. I wake up watching training videos. I like fall asleep again, wake up again. It's like constantly on the go. And I love that. I love the energy, the vibrancy. And I honestly believe, like, just remembering when I was 15 years old about the energy, enthusiasm, and determination to succeed. If I get, well, I was going to say, if I get that back again, when I get that back, no, I need to get that back again. I will get that back again. I will be that person again. I am that person. Once I'm that person, and I just visualize the feelings and emotions and recreate them for myself now, then I will succeed, because I know the type of person I was back then, and I did a lot back then. I've achieved a lot now, to be honest. So I'm really looking forward to 2022. I'm happy that in 2021 left a day job after a year. It made me really poorly. Got my disability finally recognised by the Universal Credit Benefit System in the UK, so I could leave safely out that job. It made me very poorly, you know, and then got some therapy, which I self-referred via I talked to the doctor about it first, so that was good. To be honest, I've done a lot of the work myself. I've changed my life myself, really, because I, you know, more than the therapy, more than the therapist. But, you know, I just decided to like, you know, do my own self-care plan, basically. But she finally understands me now. So on the second to last session, but our last session's next week. But, you know, I just think it's been good to talk to her. I've written some really long emails to her. But, you know, I just think it's so much better. So, you know, going forward, I'm doing book publishing business, helping asexuals more and more, growing this community here more and more, and just feeling really good, which is what I need to do. You know, no person in the world should be waking up crying all the time. It's just horrible. It's a horrible time. So, you know, if you're feeling that way, know that it can change. You've just got to find what you truly want to do in your life and what you want to be, and just cut out all the noise of the people that think they know what's best for you, whether that's family, friends, teachers, colleagues, people you come across, because they aren't you. It's no good just doing something to please them or because they think it's the best thing for you, because unless you're really passionate, enthusiastic about it, it won't last. You know, I was thinking about some entrepreneur stuff and I was just dreading doing it, because I was like, I can't do it. It's just going to take me away from what I really want to do in my life. And it's just going to rub me up the wrong way. I was already getting repelled. I still like entrepreneurship and entrepreneur stuff, but I've cut down watching it now, and I'm just focusing on like book publishing, entrepreneurship, if you like. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I know it's New Year's Eve now, so I wish you a very happy New Year's Eve. Happy New Year for tomorrow. And I'm going to love you and leave you for now. But just remember what I said in the quote at the beginning. You know, you don't need to spend your whole life trying to change yourself and reinvent yourself. All you need to do is close your eyes, look deep within yourself, and ask yourself, what do I really want? What my ideal day look like? Have you got your eyes closed? What would my ideal day look like? If I could do anything in the world, close your eyes again. If I could do anything in the world, What would it be? Why would I do that? And how would that feel? When you add feeling into what you want to do, you're much more likely to do it and succeed, because emotion puts things in motion and gives you the determination and enthusiasm and drive to achieve your goals, ambitions, and dreams. Whereas if you don't have that enthusiasm, if things seem like a chore and a drag, you're not going to want to do it. It's just going to rub you up the wrong way. You're just going to sit and procrastinate all the time. That's what I was doing. I was just procrastinating most days. Whereas now I'm just like, well, hey, let's get on with it, because I just love it so much, what I do, you know? And so this is a way for me to go. Is it risky? Yes. And no, it's risky doing it because I don't know what the outcome's going to be, but it's risky not doing it because then I'd just be miserable. And to be honest, I've had enough of the pain of not doing what I want to do. That the pain of not doing what I want to do now is greater than the pain of doing what I need to do for me, even though I don't know the outcome exactly, but I believe in myself 100%. So yeah, so now the pain of not doing something, i.e. publishing more books and focus on that, is, you know, is greater than me doing it. So now I'm doing it and I'm just believing in myself. Why not? I mean, I'm a strong, powerful girl. Why not believe in myself? If other people can do it, why can't I? Of course I can. So you just got to stick with a determined attitude. And so don't think that you have to change yourself all the time to fit in with other people because other people have dictated to you the way you should be. Please, please just reach within your own soul and find yourself again. And don't deny who you truly are and go and be that person. Be in your own body, in your own skin, and be at one with your soul and spirit, you know? Be you and just be content and happy. I just feel like content and happy and peaceful right now. I just feel so good. And I'm so happy to share that with you. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you for now. Don't forget, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you watched it to the end, don't forget you can get my fibromyalgia self-help handbook or Asexual Perspectives on Amazon, or even Barnes & Noble. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up. And tell me what you're doing for New Year. Post it in the comments below. And tell me how you are going to live your dreams if you're not already living them, or what you're doing to live your dreams right now. I want to hear from you. Are you fulfilling your own dreams and your own destiny? Anyway, take care. Lots of love. Don't forget to hit the bell icon after you subscribe to get notified of every time I go live. And I'll post a new video, and I'll see you soon in the next video live stream. Thank you so much, Stevie, for being in chat tonight, and Marcelo. And thanks everyone else for being here. Thanks for the thumbs up. And I'll see you soon. Lots of love. Bye. Bye.